Viva Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream and the podcast with our new summer opening times, show times of 9 until 10 in the morning. Now, ordinarily on a Wednesday, we have Astrid joining us at just after 9. Well, just before 9, of course, and because we started at 9, it'll have to be just after 9. Here she is. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. Starting the show this morning. Astrid, how are you?
I'm well, Carl. Something looks a little bit different with you.
You noticed.
Yes, of course I did.
Well, I've had my barnet done.
Wow.
Mrs. M was accusing me of not having an owner and letting the side down a little bit, letting myself go for the summer. So I had a trim at the barber's yesterday. Always great fun going to a Portuguese barber, and came home and perhaps overdid it a little bit with the 5 o'clock shadow. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why. And somebody sent me a message last night. I saw that I saw that you shared. Was it a special occasion? And actually, they put. I saw that you shaved. So yes, I
Right.
do a little bit naked, and I always feel like a chubby-faced Tory MP, which is
You
quite
look 10
timely.
years younger.
Do you think so? I
Yeah.
might have to stay with this then. Okay. The beard's a bit of an old guy look then. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Noted. Good feedback. Thank you very much. Is it windy this morning around the Cascais area?
No, not today, but the last couple of days have been pretty bad. So it hasn't
had a
been
lot of
very
wind, haven't we?
impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's okay today.
Wow.
But
And
the
how are
weather's
you?
warming up.
Yes, it certainly is, isn't it? And how are you doing?
I'm good. Just preparing for the school holidays in a couple of weeks. Carl, you know that I've got two young teenage daughters, and they start school holidays in June, and the school holidays go for 3 months.
Well, I was just about to ask you that. They are, suddenly everyone's like a homeschooler, aren't they?
Oh, it's 3 months of 3 months of having the kids at home and having to try and obviously work with Expats Portugal, but manage the children and keep them entertained. But it's just way too long. 3 months is just crazy.
Do they get bored by the end of that?
They do. We do a few different things over the holidays and try and break it up a bit. But I do think they get a bit bored. Wouldn't you, as a kid, not being able to do a lot for 3 months?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I do remember the school holidays, even 6 weeks in the UK, feeling like a very long time at times.
Yes, and they got to week 4, 5, and 6, and you're like, I can't wait to get back to school, because it was a change. But I remember feeling the same. But for 3 months, it's just a bit crazy. But it is what it is. So I just have to deal with it again.
Yeah, and I get for me, on balance, I'd rather be bored at home than at school. But 3 months is a long time. And I met a guy recently who, the Portuguese chap, and I was asking him about, how his English got to be so great. Little colloquialisms and idioms that were a real giveaway to probably spending time in UK, maybe US. And he said, I used to get sent to the UK every summer holiday because my parents worked. And poor guy, he got sent to school in England because his parents were working in Portugal. So no sooner had he broken up from school, he probably had a few weeks with his parents here, but then he got sent to live with his auntie in London, and he went to British school for the summer holidays.
Because it wasn't holidays, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
When he got back to school in September, it'd probably be like, what I did in the holidays for his homework. Well, I went to school in England. Poor guy. But it did him well on one level. But that sounds really kind of hard to look forward to your holidays and then be sent away to be sent to school again in the UK. Anyway, you popped in this morning to talk about a very important webinar tomorrow evening with our good mate Nuno Mensch from Winsurance. What's going to be happening tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow, so we're going to be discussing or comparing the free system with the private system, which will be very, very interesting. So that obviously, if you are coming here on the early stage of the visa, you do need private health insurance, but you don't need to keep that once you become a resident. So just being able to discuss the two options, whether it's best to stick with the public or stick with your private. So talking about the pros and the cons of the private versus the public system too. And we're going to be discussing some examples of the cost too. So if you do want to know what you should expect to pay, we're going to give some examples of what private health insurance will cost you in this country, because it's certainly much cheaper than I know Australia and the US and I'm sure many other countries. So and also we're going to touch base on the different health insurance funds that are out there. So how to make the choice. So there's going to be quite a wide variety of topics being spoken about. But understanding the healthcare system here in Portugal is probably really important. And it's with our nice friend Nuno from Winsurance. So he's always a delight.
Very important. We just found out that the foreign population in Portugal has surpassed 1 million people, and of course, the incomers are a pressure on the health system. And what we learned from Nuno is how to make best of the hybrid, really, of public and private, the combination. And there's a way of engaging with both for optimal success. Should you need anything from the health system here in Portugal, and his usual charming self as well.
Yeah, everyone loves Nuno.
Don't they? Absolutely. That's a good TV show. Brilliant. Okay, no dream team session, of course.
No, there's not. Everyone's on holidays. Already, public holiday tomorrow here in Portugal. So I did a bit of a reach out to the dream team to say who's available to work on a public holiday, and I didn't get many takers.
Tumbleweed and the smell of sardines grilling in the background. Yes. Okay, so we're resting the dream team tomorrow night. Portugal hybrid system is great. Don't see you very often, James. Good to have you here this morning. Very hot in Cascais area, says James. And at least Portugal has a lot more activities for kids than in the UK. That's true. You're not sat indoors looking out at a rainy window here in Portugal very often in the summer, are you? So, yes, well said, James. Good to have you here. And any news on EP Connect, Astrid?
We plan to launch on the 1st of June. As long as our IT developer gets back to me today, we should be able to have it all up and functioning by the 1st of June. That's the plan. So
Love it.
Yes. Okay. But I should be able to talk more about it next week. I think we need to get it all over, and then we'll onto the live site, and then I'll be able to talk about it. But it's a great networking tool to be able to meet friends and maybe some romance.
There was some reluctance romance part before, wasn't it? But we're embracing that fully now, are we? It is possibly.
No, I just think it's a good. I'm a single woman, so for me, it's like, oh, okay, it could be useful. But when Jerry had the idea, then it was more about connecting for friends. So that's the main thing is connecting with friends and being able to find like-minded people and people who share your hobbies and interests and be able to connect and speak in a private area, but very, very safe private area. And
well, that's what I was going to say. All within the safety of Expats Portugal. You're behind a sense of security, aren't you? There, people who you don't tolerate any nonsense, basically.
Okay. No. So if anyone does have anyone, well, the function or the EP Connect is only going to be available to our premium members of expatsportugal.com. So we feel that will immediately take away anyone sort of setting up spam profiles or doing anything that's not above board. So being able to control that. And then also there's the function to be able to report someone. So if you are being harassed or you, someone's not saying nice things or whatever might be, you just hit report and we'll ban them immediately. So, there is the safety of that. So you can get to know someone before you exchange any private details or email. So yes, it should be good.
None of your Facebook nonsense. A social network of a kind where there are real people at the other end who can take action on such things. So yeah, good luck. Anyone joining up on that particular part of the functionality of Expats Portugal, sign up there with the link there, and EP Connect launching soon over there.
Yes. Yeah,
Cheers,
more news next week.
Anything else to share with us before you go?
We locked in another date for our next Tamar meetup on the 27th of July, so people can put that into their diary if they want to come along and meet us. And this time you have to come, Carl.
Yes, I love Tamar. Absolutely love Tamar.
Yeah.
Thank you for that invitation. Yes, so a live in-person meetup in Tamar, centre of the country, centre of the world, many think, Tamar with its Templar connections, and a networking do in person on the 19th of June, as I recall, with Hank and Connie up in Porto.
Hank and Connie in Porto, so I'm just waiting for those details and I'll put it up onto the events calendar on the site. But 19th of June in Porto, 27th of July in Tamar, and we'll try and schedule something for Lisbon as well.
Wonderful. As you say, things are hotting up and lots of opportunities to meet people there. Expats Portugal community, and not just Expats Portugal community, all welcome, right, to come along.
Yes, you just need to be a member of the site. That can be a free member or a paid member, as long as you are a member, so that we can reach out to you. And you need to but just be, even if it's free, just jump on board the website, sign up as a member, and that way we can share the information with you. Once we're trying to find the venue still, so we want to be able to contact you and tell you where it's going to be.
That's where to sign up, expatsportugal.com, right there on the screen, and get ahead of the queue of EP Connect as well. I'm looking forward to that and hearing more about that from you. So we'll probably talk about that next week.
Sure, and it's very important that people use that question mark with the WPAM on the end, so we know that you've come from Carl's show. So we want to know who you are.
Yeah,
so don't just go to expatsportugal.com. Make sure you put the full URL there, so we know that you're a friend of Carl's.
Click on my special link there. Okay, there you go. Thanks very much, Astrid. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
And bye.
Thank you.
Bye. There she goes. Joan's in as well this morning. Good morning, everyone, from Joan van Groningen and Mr. S. Bon dia, especially to Antonio F., who he likes to speak with in Portuguese. Let's have a look who was in early this morning. 6:49. I was still asleep then, quite honestly, quite frankly. Late night last night. And a busy day today. Absolutely, Lee. See you later on for the big hot ticket. Who doesn't like a big hot ticket? In fact, it's a big opening, and who doesn't like? Bom dia, Portugal. Feliz quarta-feira. Yes, the big opening, of course, the agency, Cascais, later on this afternoon. See you there. I'm coming with Colin. And Toyota have lent us a Prius to travel in style to the big event. Hopefully, Colin will join me this morning. I have sent him a rather late invitation, so he may or may not join me, but we are picking up a Prius after the show to drive to Cascais to enjoy the opening of the new agency premises there in Cascais. Really looking forward to that. Another little mini day trip, road trip today. Bom dia, Portugal, or boom dia, Portugal. This morning, by the way, we will be looking at what it's like to be one of the million foreigners newly here in Portugal. God bless you, Portugal, for welcoming us in this way. A very interesting time in Portuguese history. What do you make of that? Just clocked over 1 million foreigners here in Portugal. Another bit of news. This is slightly strange. I saw this. Don't let Lee McGrady see this, for heaven's sakes. Let's just show you the whole thing here. Never thought. I think this is somebody stirring things up for a bit of attention. We were talking about social media attention seekers, weren't we, the other day? Never thought the day would come when there would be no sardines on our supermarket shelves. Climate change is chasing the sardines to colder waters. Oh, my goodness. You should have seen the responses to that. Maybe come back to that later on. JP, good morning to you. Hello from the north, Porto. And we'll come back to you, Coach Turner, and your comments from 6:49 this morning. And you know what? I've got a new film for you. We went to the Coimbra Strong Beers Festival. It's not the main Coimbra film that's in production at the moment. It's a little offshoot. We went for a day trip to the Coimbra Strong Beers Festival. I think it's one of the best films we've made so far, actually, and I'll play that for you sometime today during the show when we met up with a remarkable fellow from Brazil, Victor, who knows a little bit about tasting beer and craft beers, and he showed us how to savor craft beer. Not that Bobby O'Reilly took any notice of the instructions that he was given, as you'll see in the video when I play it, and the film that I'll play a little bit later on, made by Andy Klein. Great work, Andy. Thank you so much. We'll come back to that, and we'll talk about being one of 1 million foreigners here in Portugal. Thank you, Portugal. Bless your heart. Hi, Carl. Regarding foreigners, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you very much for your comment there, James. We will come back to that as well. I keep meaning to read Coach Turner's comment and then get distracting myself. So let's do that now. Feliz Carta, Toros. Looks like I'm waiting in for a delivery all day, which is nice. Do you know what? We've been getting deliveries recently, and we get a phone call. I'm trying to make a delivery. May I leave it under the cushion on your chair outside the house? Yes, you may. Fantastic service here in Portugal with the Amazon deliveries. Thank you, everybody who's been delivering things. All the things that Mrs. Emma's been ordering recently. Making, I'd be quite happy with a Heath Robinson type studio, but with our new online TV show, The Moment, with me and Mrs. M coming up, I'm distracting myself again. Come back to you in a moment, Coach Turner. Mrs. M has been making the studio look really good. You can maybe tell from the new lighting touches behind me. But thank you to all the Amazon drivers who've been bringing things to us. Fantastic job. Right, Coach Turner waiting in for a delivery. It's not being stuffed under a pillow. To be later made into a viral video or thrown over a fence or chucked in the pond or whatever. Hopefully we'll be able to get out for a walk later. I mean, this is the 21st century and people are having to wait in for parcels. Doesn't quite make sense, does it? That Amazon you can order it on Amazon late last night. You can get a good price on it and it tells you it's been sent, and then you have to wait. Something's not quite right with that formula, is it? And then you have to wait in all day, not knowing when the person delivering it is coming. That is a little bit of a technological mismatch, I would say. A sure cure for seasickness is to sit under a tree. Yes, unless it's on a boat, of course. It may be in a container making its way to Portugal. Don't sit under that tree. My goodness, that would be an uncomfortable journey, wouldn't it? Spike Milligan. Do you know what? I loved Spike Milligan as a kid. I still love him now, but I really loved his poetry for children. And then I started watching his zany, that was the word that was used then, wasn't it? His zany TV shows. Was it Q6, Q7, Q8? Really good as he span off. I'm too young to remember the Goons properly. But really picked up on Spike Milligan when he left. There was another show of his as well that wasn't Q8. There was another one. Loved his work anyway. Absolutely loved his work and loved his books and his poems. And the first quote, I think, from Spike there this morning. Thank you very much for that. Sure cure for seasickness is to sit under a tree. God's God tip of the day then from the coach. This exercise can be done, I'm guessing a Spike Milligan fan too. This can be done either against a wall, a worktop, or a railing. Anything that will give you some support. Stand facing the wall or whatever. Lean towards it and support yourself so your legs and body are at about 60 degrees. Protractors out for this one to the ground. So you're going to be 60 degrees to the ground. So not tilting over to the full 45. Stopping short, I'm thinking. Push one knee out sideways. Ooh! It's like you're doing origami on yourself. And pick it up so that it is hip height. Then bring it forward and back down again. It's quite yogic and Qigongish again, isn't it? Very nice. Repeat 10 times on both legs. You can also try to reverse the exercise. This will help loosen your hip muscles and prepare you for other types of exercise. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's also great for the lower back. Loving that. Opening up the pelvis. Very good. Coach Turner, thank you for that this morning. Have a great day. Hope your parcel comes early. Not a euphemism. Sincerely hope that your parcel comes early. You can get out of the house. There must be better ways, mustn't there, than having to wait in all day, quite frankly. Bon dia, Gumpers. You see, if you're in Portugal, you'd get the phone call from the delivery driver. You'd say, I'm having a coffee down the cafe. And then the driver would come to the cafe and give you, it's happened to me, and it's happened to other people in this community. Bon dia, Gumpers. One of the many reasons to move here alongside the other 999 1,999 foreigners. More than now, right? Over 1 million. Bom dia, Gambas. Feliz a todos. Como tem passado from James at 7:52 this morning. Early birds are probably doing a little bit of Portuguese language learning this morning. Mindful moment then. Stepping out of the busyness, stopping our endless pursuit of getting somewhere else. Oh, yeah, is perhaps the most beautiful offering we can make to our spirit. Busy day today for me, and a nice intervention there. Stepping out of the busyness, stopping our endless pursuit of getting somewhere else is perhaps the most beautiful offering we can make to our spirit. Oh, very good. Thank you for that. And a mindful dad joke from James as well. The salesman at the furniture store told me this sofa will seat 5 people without any problems. I said, where the hell am I going to find 5 people without any problems? Oh, yes. Very good indeed. Deagle was in. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpus from a dry Belfast. Going to be a warm, dry, sunny spell, roughly 6 to 7 days. Peaking, not Peking. Peaking next Tuesday at 21 degrees today. It'll be a warm 16. Good for you, Deagle, who is off to a wee rural village in Kynydine, Longston, foot of the Mourne Mountains for a few days with Minister of Home Affairs. Have a lovely time. Tomorrow is my birthday, 55, and can officially retire. Will you be retiring? Or you can, but will you be? Have a lovely time. Love to Kathy. Deagle, have a great time in the wee rural village in the county down. Longston, foot of the Mourne Mountains. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Good morning, Gumpers, from Millane at the aforementioned Winsurance. How you doing? Oh, you're asking us that. How are you in the hump day? Ooh, pretty good. Thank you very much. Today, I share this thought, says Millane. I think it's Millane. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Ooh, happiness never decreases by being shared. Isn't that lovely? Very good. That's what we're all about here at the Good Morning Portugal show. Nice words and bon mots of that kind. Thank you very much, Milene, for getting into the spirit of being here on the Good Morning Portugal show with your Hola Bon Dia, and Jackie also. Hola Bon Dia, Gumpers. How you doing? Love the Buddha quote, says James. Of course he does. Also, be kind whenever possible. Another Buddhist quote. And it's also possible, not just a Buddhist quote, but attributed to the Buddha himself. Bon dia, Gumpers transcended such gender-based nominations, right? Presumably. I don't know. Bon dia, Gumpers from Mike as well. Michael Barton's in from Miranda de Corvo. And a viva from James Campbell as well. Over there in Cascais, I take it. Are you going to the big do later on this afternoon, James, at the agency? Maybe see you there. You'll see a few of the Gumper community over that way and a few of the Man Cave team as well. Be careful, Cascais. Portugal hybrid system is great. Yeah, that's the chat for tomorrow night. If you weren't here while Astrid was here, this is the webinar tomorrow evening with Nuno, optimizing your healthcare in Portugal. It is public and private here, of course. And maybe a high point, there is going to be such pressure, is there not, on health systems all over the world with the aging populations and fewer youngsters being born to pay the taxes, to do the national service in some places, and to take care of the olds. So treasure your health system and look after yourself, basically, so you don't need to use it so much, perhaps. Here is on that note, here's a fabulous image of a Terry, Chinese Terry in his garden. Has he got a hard hat on there? For a moment, I thought that was a member of the village people. Chinese Terry, quite a good name for a member of the village people. Not that I remember a Chinese man in that lineup. Anyway, diabetics get active, says Terence. Activity works to fight my diabetes and will help you too. My brother and I moved over 2 tons of soil at the weekend and it felt good. Now, I wonder if they did that just for the sake of it or it actually needed moving. And was it their own garden? Was it a neighbor? Did they tell the neighbor, come on, get out there and never give in? Gardening, a great way to control diabetes. Now, I think we're going to be hearing more. Is that a hard hat that he's wearing there? That's some good preparation and excellent health and safety. I have suffered diabetes and injections for over 20 years, says Terence. I think I'm finally winning the battle against it. Activities like gardening have really helped me turn the tide. Not to mention the, well, I'm going to mention them, obviously. When anyone says not to mention, they're about to mention something that they said that they weren't going to mention, and that'll be the testosterone. I think he has unburdened himself Watch out, passers-by, innocent bystanders, because all of that exercise and his particular regime of dealing with diabetes has boosted his testosterone as well. He tells me, and actually, when you do a handshake, when you shake hands with Terence, you feel it as well. And there's just something about his aura, his presence, which I think has a lot to do with his new lifestyle and massive, extraordinary, eye-watering levels of testosterone. Let's have a look at this that came up as well. Did you have I think James did have a comment on this as well. Never thought the day would come that there would be no sardines on our supermarket shelves. Climate change is chasing the sardines to colder waters, making climate change a little bit like Jack Frost there. Emblematically, is that the right word? Mythically chasing fish into colder seas. Is that really what's going on, or is it just too early? It's funny, isn't it? This is I'm not saying it is or it isn't happening, but this is so often the case. And I do this myself, quite honestly. You see some information, or you have an experience in your life that is your confirmation bias for the ideas and values that you had. Bon dia, not bomb. Absolutely. Thank you. The building has already been cleared. But thank you for that, Jackie. While we're in the meme department this morning, let's have a look at James's other submissions this morning. This is from yesterday, and I forgot to show a cute cat picture yesterday. We blame black cats crossing our path for causing bad luck. Good luck in the UK. I was brought up to believe that a black cat crossing your path was good luck. But we never considered the possibility that the path we were on was already unlucky and that the cat was warning us to take another. A nice reframe there. And if that's all too much to think about, just take to your bed like John's cat here. Cats are smart, aren't they? What a brilliant way to live life. Look at that. And John tells me that cat face there, that's Tintin, isn't it, that one? Just covered himself up, found a way of getting under the blanket. Animals. What was it? Was it one of the Durrell brothers from My Family and Other Animals? It's something about if humans were as good at being humans, animals are as good at being animals. You know what I mean? That picture really summons that up, doesn't it? That spirit. What are we really meant to be doing? I know we're not meant to. I mean, we're probably a little bit too active, aren't we, to be lying under a blanket all day? But I don't know. And certainly a lot of the malarkey we get up to, I'm sure isn't what human beings are really meant to be doing. What would it be if humans were really good at being humans? What is our real nature? What should we be doing? And other big philosophical questions like sardines and what it's like to be one of the 1 million foreigners here in Portugal. Right, I didn't get to the actual memes that James sent in, from cats to dogs, me switching between the two several times per hour. I was asking you what sort of sheep you felt like yesterday. Which sort of dog do you feel like this morning? Let's move that comment so that we can see what is being said there. Ikigai. Oh, yes, absolutely. Look it up. Isn't that where smashed pottery gets joined together with gold leaf? No, only kidding. That's kintsugi, isn't it? Ikigai is the wonderful... can anyone send me that on 913-590-303? That's when you know you're being a human in your true general and specific individual human nature. Good call, James Campbell. Thank you for that. Idiots! WTF is wrong with people. That's these are the two sides of James, I think. And then when he's reframed it, as he's so good at doing, it's all just the universe experiencing itself. Wow. How long did that turnaround take, I wonder? Morning to you, Peter. Bom dia, país de Gales, Portugal. Great to see you here this morning, Peter. How are you doing? And Bob's in as well, who sent in a picture. You sent in a fantastic meme this morning as well. Let's bring yours up onto the screen. Where did that go? About your pet termite. I've got it somewhere here, your pet termite. Bob, thank you very much for sending in that in this morning. And very good to speak to you on Monday morning as well. And yes, John, as well as sending in cute cat pictures, he sent in a dirty picture as well that we'll share with you in just a moment. Bob's first. Want to see a dirty picture? Stay tuned. Bon dia todos on the warmer oceans and sardines. Greg Braden recently shared significant data. Already misquoting something important here. Strike that from the record. Shared significant data that volcanic activity beneath the surface is warming water more than the air above it. Oh, who do you believe? with such things. Follow the money, man. Not only the money, but follow the political agenda and any attempts to any psychopathic, narcissistic traits that might cause other people to want to control other people. Yes, it happens. Hard to believe, isn't it? In this pleasant environment of ours, of gumperdom, but out there are people who can cause you to think, what the look, what's wrong with other people? Thank you for that explanation, Bob. Here is your meme, and you have a pet termite who you named Clint. Yes, Clint eats wood. Ay. Oh, ouch! Too hot for TV. But what, the dirty picture? Yes. And here's John Heimbach's dirty picture from the north of Portugal. Wait for it. Oh, nearly soiled myself. Sorry. Now, the comment that came, whoa, look at that dirt, that came with this beautiful long shot there of the mountains up in the north of Portugal. And you can see how rich the soil is there. Not sandy soil up there. We got some sandy soil, as you might imagine. Very enriched with minerals, of course, because this was all flooded with oceanic waters long ago here in the Silver Coast. But up there, look at the color of that soil. Beautiful picture. Out and about. Were you plowing? Did you take a break from plowing that field, John, to send us that picture? Very good of you. Thank you very much indeed. Look at that rich soil of Portugal. Promise you a dirty picture. You got it. And while we're in the picture deck, we'll go to James's other picture submission this morning on 913-590-303. Lisbon, Portugal. This is what we opened with. According to Visa Guide World, #1 in the best European capitals to visit. Lisbon, Portugal. I know that place. Amsterdam was second. Prague, third. Warsaw, Madrid, Zagreb, London even. Rome, Bern, and Paris also make the top 10 there. Very good. Paris, France, what's happening? Still haven't heard anything about the Olympics. We're starting to hear about the football because, of course, Portugal are playing in the Euros. What about this Olympics? Why so quiet on the Olympics? Has anybody heard anything about the Olympics? I think we might have to make a wanted poster, missing the Olympics. Is there an Olympics this year or not? I wonder. That film to come, maybe Rugby Kulan will join us. I'm popping to Kashkaish later on this afternoon with him in the Prius today. And let's ponder that news. We'll read that news article. Number of foreigners living in Portugal surpasses 1 million, and some interesting news items over at the Portugal News. Vladimir Zelensky, of course, and his lookalike is Carl Hyde. Which way round is it? I'm going to go with Vladimir Zelensky goes around Ukraine saying, do you know what? When all this is over, I might go around opening estate agencies and real estate premises as Carl Hyde. Portugal out of resources. What's that? That's a news item over there on this Ask Anything or Say Anything about Portugal Wednesday, Hump Day, as Melaine put it. New Algarve playground. You can tell the Portugal News is a little bit Algarve-centric and maybe short of news today. New Algarve playground. Nice if you live there. Of course, it does look very funky, actually. A very nice playground over there. Temperatures to hit highs of 35 degrees and truffles better than those found in Italy. I'm going to look at that because I don't think, maybe I have had a shaved truffle in the past. I know I've definitely shaved my pecorino, but shaved truffles, they've been discovered and they are better than those found in Italy right here in Portugal. That's the story for us, I think, over at the Portugal News this morning. When we get there, we have a movie to share with you about how to taste craft beer when we were at the Strong Beers Festival. Great job from Alan, Andy Klein. Why did I call him Alan? Oh my goodness, getting too giddy, too excited. A few more comments and then we'll play the movie and I can calm down and drink the rest of my tea. A very important news from Ponte Lima this morning. Vaca dos Cordas Day. That's instead of soap on a rope, it's like a bull on a rope. In Ponte Lima today, it's a very traditional part of the Corpus Christi celebrations. It is a national holiday, just in case you've already been out this morning running errands and nothing is open. It's because it's the Corpus Christi holiday as part of the Easter celebrations, of course, here in Portugal. So part of that, in Ponte Lima, is the Corpus Christi Day. And with the celebration of the Vaca das Cordas, I think I've had a photograph of the marvelous, magnificent bronze bull sent to me before. I think I took one myself when I was up there, celebrating that since 1646 up there. There'll be thousands of people watching the craziness of young men showing off for the ladies, I suspect, probably the origins of the festival. There'll be thousands of people watching the craziness of a bull that is being led around the town on the cordash, on the rope, and then set free in the sandlot by the river. João Ernesto will be watching safely from the bridge there, and maybe we'll send us some video. Cheers, John, for thinking of us. A very important day in the Ponte Lima calendar there. Devemos falamos em português. And what's that? That's part of being in Portugal as a foreigner, learn to speak the language. We are doing our best. We are making steps, aren't we? And we know more than we think we do. And we shouldn't give ourselves a hard time about the process. And as James says, we should certainly be involved in it. The agency, it is the agency that you may have seen on Netflix. Very swish and swanky, very, very high end. And occasionally we feature the agency. That is, I'm sure that's the right way to say it grammatically. The agency are a top agency in Beverly Hills. They've recently come to Portugal and they're opening their Cascais premises. I love a big opening any time of the day. And it's going to be later on this afternoon. You're asking what the agency is. There you go. I hope that helps. We have sardines in our shop. It might be a local strike. Fresh or frozen. Regarding foreigners, shows that finally Portugal is getting the attention it deserves. I thought you were going to say it's getting the foreigners it deserves as well. Hello, my name is Blofeld. I run the agency. Yes, James Bond from International Exports. It does sound like that, doesn't it? Who is this? You don't need to know that. I'm from the agency. I did a great beer tour across Belgium, would recommend. We had a German fella with us, as you'll see. In a little while, who came with us to try the Portuguese beers, and he spoke of them quite favorably. Slight hesitation, because I mean, if you're German, you're not going to say that Portugal is better for beer than Germany, are you? People in Germany, Germans are very loyal to their brewing traditions there. So Edward was, I think, very gracious. You'll find out what he has to say in just a moment. Sarah is in. Good morning to you, Sarah. Lovely to see you here this morning. Excellent. Glad you could join us. And my DPD driver remembers our doorbell doesn't work and doesn't just run off. Isn't that great service? Absolutely fabulous. Mr. S, there's no need for that sort of language, Mr. S, with your AFs in there. Not serious deep thought. Not so serious deep thought. How do we really know that today is Wednesday? Good question, John. I mean, there's no actual evidence to that today is Wednesday. We all just have to trust someone that kept count since the first one ever, right? It is one of those common agreements. It's made up. You're absolutely right. And that's the frightening thing about this. It's not only the idea of Wednesday made up, pretty much everything is made up. And we come to agreements and we practice things that make them seem really real. But the more you think about it, the more you realize. So this is quite a serious deep thought now. Sorry, John. I'm going to say it. It's all made up. And we agree on certain things that make them seem quite solid and real. But they're all just agreements which can be changed. Oh my goodness. João Ernesto, Torada Acorda is a big thing in the Açores as well. Good morning to you, Antonio F. Thousands of people watching or taking part. You can find videos of that on YouTube. The Torada Acorda as well. Bulls on ropes, not soaps on ropes, but bulls on ropes. And Clint Eastwood, I think Sarah liked that. Notice that the research did not say that the air above the oceans was not impacting warming temperatures, only that volcanic activity was warming them more. Well said. And if that's the case, or should I not panic just yet? Bon dia, alegria, Carlo. Bon dia, alegria, Carlo. Igualmente to you, João Mendonça. Good to see you. And yes, that Star Wars video. If you've got the link for that, João, pop it in the chat. Let's talk to Jeff again soon. Brilliant production. As well, they made a really good little skit based on Star Wars with their tours of Madeira. Great job, Jeff and the team. And thank you for sending it our way, João Mendonça. I think we put that in the Portugal Club as well. Let's break. We're running out of time this morning. It's the only problem with these summer hours. We've only got 20 minutes to go on the show. It's time to show the movie. Do enjoy this. I'm going to watch it with you and drink the rest of my cup of tea. And we'll talk about being one of the million million plus foreigners living in Portugal. We can carry on talking about sardines and climate change. And I want to talk about truffles as well, that are better than those found in Italy. Go shave your pecorino, Italy. We got the best truffles here, apparently. Right. Glory be.
Forever young. Every moment, this is life. Take it as it comes. Jump up and reach for the stars. Having no regrets. Forever and ever. Always young. Forever young. Forever young.
Okay, where do we start? Obrigado.
Right, so here we go.
Here we go.
We have German Pilsner.
More beer, more
Yeah. We've got a, can we have a German man trying the German Pilsner to see
Wait, please, taste. See the election.
It's like being back in Hamburg. Right?
Good? Nice?
Yeah, there you
Good.
go.
Okay. I think a complete one.
The good thing about Portugal is because the beverage market here is really good because of the wine market, of course. They have a really good wine market here. And Portugal is following the same path that all the big beer culture countries did. So it's growing here.
But with
It's the look. This is a family-friendly festival. You're right. Okay,
and pets.
and pet-friendly too. That's a really good angle. So bring your dog to a beer festival, or cat, or whatever, ferret.
Whatever you have. Pets.
Whatever you want, you can bring it.
So we're in the capital of beer. We discover and certainly I think Coimbra is very important with craft beer, isn't it?
Yes.
Praxis is going back.
It's real. It's not how would you say, a cliche. Actually, the beer that we've tasted in here today, they've been fantastic. Some of them have been fantastic. Some are not so fantastic. But yeah, I know he's going to be like, yeah.
Okay, let me say so. For people who love craft beer, should be a meeting point. For people who are loving more the traditional, straightforward Pilsner, it is so-so. It is so-so.
Okay.
But the craft beers are excellent. Excellent. Cheers to that.
Prost.
We appreciate the feedback.
I actually think this is actually sort of like a disadvantage.
Only if you want to be socializing, I mean, but the moment you drink, it's fine.
But in the summer at Coimbra, you will find some more light beers that are respecting the Reisgebot.
Yeah, where you can drink 1 liter and you're still
And you
able to
drink
drive a car.
a good Pilsner and a good Weiss beer or Weissen and that kind of beer. Here, especially, we are promoting the strong beers.
Yeah, because
beers
winter,
with-
look, it is January.
It's so cold, isn't it? It's the Portuguese winter, right?
Our winter, for us, it's cold.
Yeah, well, we're glad to be here celebrating winter with you. Why do you think people should come to Coimbra? We're about travelling around Portugal. We love Coimbra. We met you before when we were in the city.
That's actually why we're here today.
It is, isn't it? Because you gave us a warm welcome.
The last one,
Yeah. So, telling people around the world, why should they come to Coimbra?
Well, actually, it's the history of Coimbra. We have the second oldest university of Europe. We have an amazing tradition in making beer, as you found out.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful city with a lovely river, lovely restaurants, good environment. The people in Coimbra also are good people, so
Yeah, it's true.
it's the right place to be.
Did you teach us how to taste? Okay, so we've got a German Pilsner. Okay, should we learn how to taste from Vito? Okay. It's not just about knocking it back, Bobby.
What are we
Come
doing?
on.
We're not spitting it back into anything, I hope.
No. So
Teach us, Vito.
the best way to teach it, the first is look
Smell.
at the beer.
Oh, look,
at the beer because with all the colors. If it's a shiny or hazy,
That's what I always
we
tell
see
you.
all the
Look at
lights.
it. It should not look like hospice.
Exactly, all the lights.
Here.
If you see if it's translucent or hazy, it's a good way to see it's a full body beer or maybe it's a more lighter beer.
Yeah.
So you can always and look at the foam.
Foam,
Really,
yeah.
here we have like we call the Belgian lace. Right, Belgian lace. When you see this kind of foam, it's really good because it's when you see a good foam like that, you have to send a very good job to the brewer because he knows how to work with the protein of the grain. Belgian lace. So it's a good it's a more stable beer. So you can have a more stable foam. So you keep the flavors inside the liquid, not losing to the environment. So it's better to keep fresher more time. The beer, you have a fresher beer for more time. And then after looking and admiring all the
There's
the
a problem
views,
here. You don't have a beer. No, come on. We need to get you.
Ulysses, give me a little. I'm showing them how to see and taste. So let's. It's way better with a beer in the hand. Exactly. So now we can see a lot of foam.
You can see a lot of Belgian lace.
Belgian lace. Exactly. But one good thing about when you can see about the dark beer foams, you can see the cascades, the foam, the liquid is going down, so you can see the foam forming the layers of the foam. So of course, when you go in, you go down, you have a more liquid foam. Up, you have a more soft foam. And after looking at that, you can try the smell.
Let's have a little.
And see what happens. A good thing, a good tip is that never shake too much your glasses because when you shake it, you take a lot of different flavors at the same time, so it's harder to identify. So the first thing,
Calma, tranquilo.
tranquilo, yes, exactly. So the first step is just take the natural flavors. And then after taking the natural, you can shake a little bit to break the bonds and free other more complex flavors. That's right. The same as with whiskey. Don't take a good whiskey and shake it a lot. So let's see what the whiskey brings the natural way, natural flavors. And then a good tip is that if there are a lot of noise or different environment, just close your eyes because when you take out the eyes, you can have more, concentrate more your attention in the nose. Okay. So close your eyes, take the smell, and after that, you can take a little sip.
It's gone flat already.
And with this little sip, take all the balance. What do you feel the first time?
It makes a difference closing your eyes, doesn't it? No? Yes?
You give more attention to the beer, more attention to the moment.
I was going to take my little sip.
The little sip.
It's a mindful beer tasting, isn't it?
Exactly.
Look at that lace.
That much straight away, or
You could.
Oh, I wasn't meant to.
You could. But the good thing is that the first you take the sip,
Really good.
feel the touch of the tongue in the teeth, so you can see if it's a full-bodied beer or if it's more light beer.
filling back up. Tell me more about that. It's on the tongue, right?
On the tongue, exactly. So when you touch the tongue in the teeth, you can feel if it's a really soft beer or feeling like a velvet, silk
or even
beer, or if it's lighter, it's like a fluid, like the flowing is really fast. So lighter beers flows faster.
Yes.
Full-bodied beers, you feel like you can chew it, not just drink it.
So savor it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And then always pay. And the most important thing about tasting a good beer, tasting anything, is be there, pay attention.
Yes.
Don't look to everywhere else. Be at your beer. Enjoy the moment.
Right.
Be
Absolutely.
there because you can take the best things about the beer, so you can taste better, and it's a better experience when you pay attention in what you drinking it.
At an event like this,
Exactly.
the temptation is to want to try everything, right? How do you manage being at a beer festival when there are
50 beers here, 40 beers.
Yeah.
What do? You have to make some decisions before you even get started.
Some good way to think is that what I want to try today, like I want to go to sours or IPAs or go to the dark one. So sometimes ask yourself what I wanna try today.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're not up to sour beer, so don't go to that beers at first.
Yeah.
And other things like ask for smaller portions of beer and a lot of water. If you want to try
Really?
more beers, like between 3 or 4 beers, at least a pint of water, because it helps to clean your body, gives you more
Palate cleanse.
and hydrate. So you can do, and you can drink a little bit more and pay more attention. And of course, drinking is different for each person. So always look at yourself. What I'm doing now? Can I drink more?
So it's the same again.
Top up, yeah.
What's the ideal food? The ideal food for when you're at a beer festival? Burgers. Burgers.
Exactly.
Meat, right?
Bockwurst. Bockwurst.
Bockwurst.
Yeah, very good.
I don't think
very much. That's superb, Andy. Really enjoyed that one. I was laughing out loud when I was watching it yesterday. Sat in the barbers, funnily enough, when I was looking at the draft. Brilliant job. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike and Karen, for being there. Was that the first time we met in real life? No, it wasn't. It was the second time, wasn't it? Because we'd met in Coimbra before. And apparently that was the night that I got carried in trouble with. I mean, I got the blame. I wasn't even there. And a special thanks to John and Christina Brand, who gave me a lift there that day. That was lovely. So I could have a few beers and then get a lift home as well. Really good. Very enjoyable. Hit that like button, folks. And the more appropriate terrain in Beira Litoral region, from Serra de Sico down to Serra de Air, is Candeiros. Okay, so Antonio helping Jackie, the humble crafter, out there with a bit of geography here in Portugal. Thank you very much, Andy Klein. Superb job on that. Cheers, Edward Durfinger. I mean, he sounds like he could have his own Bond movie, let alone a character piece, a little cameo role inside a Bond movie. Edward Durfinger. Durfinger! He's the man who loves Bockwurst. Brilliant job. Okay, let's move on now and have a look at the truffle. Actually, before we go look at truffles, and we have discovered this morning that Jackie likes to coat her truffle with a nice ganache. We'll find out exactly what that means in just a moment. Let me share this screen with you first. The number of foreigners living in Portugal surpasses 1 million. We talked to Aoife about this. It was only yesterday, and her personal experience of this. Let's have a deeper dive into the full article written by Michael Bruxo, and I think that was published on Monday of this week, looking at the figures, the new figures that have come in from IMA. So let me take a look at this and read it for you. Number of foreigners living in Portugal surpasses 1 million. Yes, Michael Bruxo on the 27th. Record 329,000 residency permits were granted in 2023. Therefore, the first time Portugal's resident foreign population has surpassed 1 million, having grown 33%. I mean, that's an incredible rise of people, isn't it? 33% between 22 and 23. According to GDN, Jornal de Notícias, which cites data from Portugal's new agency, the IMA, a record of around 329,000 residency permits were attributed last year. That's a 130% increase compared to the year prior. they've gone through a change, they've gone through a restructuring, and they're dealing with this extraordinary amount of people. Let's spare a thought. I know it's no fun when it's you and your particular documents that need renewing or processing, but the job they have from their point of view is extraordinary. Only 38,000 of those permits, let's have a look at some of the demographics here, around 12% of the total were attributed to citizens of other European Union countries, adds JN. In the last 5 years alone, the number of foreigners living in Portugal has more than doubled, skyrocketing from around 480,000 at the end of 2018. I remember those days, to 1.4 million in 2023, meaning they now account for almost 10% of the Portuguese population. 1 in 10. Only 182,000 of these foreigners are from other EU countries, with 858,000 coming from countries outside of the EU. JN stresses that these numbers do not consider the approximately 50,000 Ukrainians who are benefiting from temporary asylum due to their country's war with Russia. Zelensky was in Portugal yesterday, of course. There is still no updated data on nationalities, reports JN. But if the tendencies remain similar to 2022, here are those demographics. Brazilians will remain the biggest foreign community in Portugal, having represented 31% of foreign residents in Portugal in 2022, followed by citizens from 7 Portuguese-speaking countries: Cape Verde, Angola, Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, São Tomé and Príncipe, and East Timor, which together count for 58% of foreigners living in Portugal. With the number, just finally now, then last couple of paragraphs, with the number of incoming foreigners soaring, Portugal's recently created Integration, Migration and Asylum Agency, that is IMA, of course, has been unable to respond, prompting the government to say it will review the institutional model for the entry into this country of foreign immigrants. So who knows? The pressure on IMA, pressure on infrastructure, it may mean changes. I guess they're just seeing this. As a country, we're sucking it and seeing it societally, aren't we? And seeing what's going on and seeing what the effect is of such massive migration into the country. And I suspect the government will respond in due course. Leitão Amaral, the vice president of PSD, the political party, has described the dissolution of CEF, Portugal's previous foreigners and immigration agency, and the distribution of its workers among several institutions as a blunder, a word you often only see in news reports, although have you ever used that in real life, the word blunder? Although he recognised that no political party simply wants to see CEF reconstructed in its former guise. So just a little bit of political criticism there, and not really much in the way of construction or constructiveness there. Hit that like button. Happy day. Viv's Residencia applied for in person in Bragança on the 26th of January, was issued 11th of May and arrived today. Congratulations. That's nice. Very good. Congratulations to you. I think you need one of these, Viv. You'll remember this moment here on the Good Morning Portugal show. That's if I can find it. Got it here somewhere. Wait, hold on a minute. Yes, this is for you. I will say, not your birthday, but it's like your birthday, isn't it? Getting your card there. I think that is what's being said. Yeah, the card arrived. Fantastic. The renewal is done. Obrigado to Mike. She's very pleased, as am I. No need to send off my passport for renewal. At least we can travel the EU without concern. That is a big relief, isn't it? And the immigration stat from João de Norte could be a bit skewed. 22 versus 23 versus 21 to 22. Could also just be a little bit affected from the COVID pause. Interesting. Thank you and congrats to Viv. Yay. And this is very meaningful information. Thank you very much for sharing that with us this morning. And congratulations to you, Viv. Will I be able to buy them fresh? Oh, she says, muito obrigado. Will I be able to buy them fresh in the central area? We're talking about truffles now in the last minute of the Good Morning Portugal show. Let me click on that news story and find out if these truffles are better than those found in Italy. Thank you very much for your comment earlier there, Larry. Yes, wherever you go in Italy, our tartufo is better than X, Y, or Z. That's a little Italian tart, in case as I understand it anyway. Here we go. Truffles better than those found in Italy, discovered in Portugal. I don't remember savouring them alone and really knowing what a truffle tastes like. Anyway, the University of Évora and chef Tanka Sapkota have announced the discovery for the first time in Portugal of the summer truffle, a gastronomic delicacy resulting from the reproduction of fungi. The reproduction of fungi sounds like a progressive rock album from the 1970s with a gatefold sleeve, covered in tobacco and other substances that you would have found in a student dive. Anyway, it is the first discovery of summer truffle in Portugal. It is a fantastic discovery because we know for the first time that it's possible to grow it in our country, explained a researcher from the University of Évora. That will be Évora's Celeste Santos a Silva. Well, since this species of truffle until now was imported and a kilogram costs up to €100, the researcher clarified that the discovery opens up several market possibilities worldwide from the point of view of cultivation and commercialization. With this discovery, the chef has no doubt that Portugal now has better truffles than Italy. That's quite the gauntlet to throw down, quite frankly. And let's just find out what Jackie does with hers. And one or two last comments. Where is your comment? Oh, where in Portugal are the truffles coming from? I coat them in a ganache made with clotted cream, then double dipped. Oh, stop it, Jackie. Double dipped in chocolate, a choice of 8 flavors. Get over here now with some of those. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And thank you so much to Antonio for sourcing. You've sourced her truffles this morning, which sounds like a disgusting sexual euphemism when in fact you just told her where to buy the aforementioned truffle. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. We've got an extra show. Veronica's joining us, as is somebody from, I think, quite a new style of education, hopefully, fingers crossed. And they've got an absolutely free Friday feel-good free-for-all with loads of different co-hosts and guests joining us because it's one of those fifth Fridays, unscheduled, and it will be unplugged as well on Friday with a lot of fun, feel-good Friday fun with lots of different co-hosts and people you haven't seen for a little while joining us on the screen. Have a great day. Take care. Bye for now. See you at the agency if you're going to be there. And we'll see you, of course, if not, tomorrow morning. Ciao, ciao. And bye for now. Where's the video? Quick, find the video, Carl. Here's the video. Oh, good. Here's the video.